Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hair Impact with another episode. And we have a special guest today, Irene Lazarou. She is a food expert. And thank you, Irene, for being with us today, talking about food, one of my favorite subjects.
Thank you, Constantina, for the invitation. I think food is everyone's favorite topic.
So, can you give us just a short biography of yours, just for our audience to hear about you?
Yes, I have studied food science and technology at the Agricultural University of Athens. I worked for a few years in food industry and a bit in food laboratories, and then I did my master's in food management. And I then worked in positions managing food safety in a large chain of restaurants, controlling suppliers, ensuring the compliance to the regulation and standards. For the last year and a half, I'm in partnership with another lady, Elena, who is a chemist, and we have founded Food Science, and we provide services and training in food safety.
So you are also, except from woman in business, you're also woman in science. So you
Yes.
combine these two characteristics, which is really interesting. We see science and business where they can actually be relevant and create something, right?
Yes, exactly. It's good to be able to have a science and be able to pass it on through your business, through training, through any way possible.
So can you tell us what exactly is food safety, your science? I mean, is it about only storing and processing the food, or is it also include the production stage, the agricultural stage, let's say, or the fishing stage?
Well, food safety is anything that has to do with making our food safe. Our food starts from the farm. So we always hear for food safety, we always hear the term from farm to fork. So it's from the seed. Food safety starts from the seed until it goes to the consumer's plate. So it's in agriculture, in farming. It's the processing steps, the transportation steps, production, and even in our house, food safety is important because we all eat and we all more or less, even if we don't cook, we buy food. So food safety is in every single stage. It's all around us. It has to do with preventing the hazards that could be transferred to us through food. The hazards are usually in three main categories. So we have biological hazards, which are bacteria, which could cause any foodborne illnesses or spoil our food. And we also have chemical hazards, like any type of chemicals that could be found in our food, antibiotics, pesticides, other chemical substances that could be created in the production of the food or can be found through the soil or through the production line. And we also have physical hazards, which are foreign objects, basically. So any types of foreign objects that could be found in our food, which I'm sure we all more or less have an experience of that. And lately, one of the newest things that are in the hazards, new emerging hazards, we also have the allergens, which are, for example, are linked to the information we provide to the consumer. So it's not only about producing safe food, it's also about providing the correct information to a customer to be able to make informed decisions. So what's included in the product so that they know that they are making a choice that's suitable for their needs. If they have an allergy, that they can avoid a certain type of food.
Actually, the second question was what are the biggest hazards? You already answered that with the first one. Let's go back to the pesticides because we hear a lot about pesticides, and we feel as consumers we cannot protect ourselves because we don't know what kind of pesticides the food, the vegetables or fruits were spread. So we don't know how to protect ourselves, so how to wash them, let's say. So what do you think is the safest way to treat our vegetables or fruits when we consume them?
Okay, well, it's good first of all to not panic about these things because the regulation usually protects us. These products that are used in farming, they have legal limits and they have approved chemicals that can be used. So they have been tested, they have been checked, and there are specific limits that are allowed to be present in the food. Of course, we do know that sometimes these could be exceeded, but the industry goes into a great extent to make sure that they take all the measures. Now at home, there's not a lot we can do about pesticides because some of them are on the surface, but some of them are in the product. So
even if we peel them, then there's no way to get rid of them, right? In this way.
It depends on the type, and but as I said, they are to a limit that is safe for humans to consume.
Okay.
What we can do for the chemicals that are outside on the outside surface is very good washing. It could be even a higher risk for the biological hazard for some of the fruits and vegetables we use because we sometimes associate it more with pesticides, whereas we don't think that it could be contaminated with any type of bacteria. So it's good to wash. We have to wash our vegetables and fruits in a very good way. A lot of water we can use. It's very good to use vinegar which helps us kill a bit the bacteria, some of the bacteria that's on the products, and rinse very well.
So actually vinegar is about bacteria, it's not about pesticides or other chemical.
It's about bacteria, yes.
Okay. Now I was wondering about food technology. I mean, what do you think the future of food industry will go because of technology? We have these new technologies like visual reality or I don't know, Internet of Things, or this new technology they say they would change the future. Do you think the food technology will also impact on the food industry and how it will change it?
Of course, we keep hearing new things all the time. I was mentioning before about the hazards, and I said, we have these biological, chemical, physical, and providing correct information, which has to do with allergens. Now we started hearing new things about radiological hazards. We have hazards that have to do with bioterrorism, with things like that. And we keep hearing all new types of technologies as well, which can be implemented to help, on the one hand, the production of food, make it more productive, more efficient, and more safe in some cases. But it could also bring other types of hazards. So as the technology and science is emerging, we might also hear of new types of hazards and new things that come in to the food industry. And we can also find new methodologies to prevent.
So new technologies also actually are threatening with new type of hazards, let's say, the food industry.
Not necessarily. They usually new technologies are to prevent, but the thing is that we hear, although technology and science is growing and developing, we do hear of new types of hazards emerging. We still hear of a lot of people losing their lives due to food. So it's a bit of a vicious circle, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good point because we hear a lot of cases of food poisoning, mainly because of pollution. Like fish are full of mercury, and I don't know, vegetables are full with heavy metals because of pollution. So these things are actually threatening. But is it in a way? Is it the government's doing something to prevent the contamination threatening the food quality?
Yes, well, as I said, the regulations are there to protect consumers. So in Europe, there are different associations, like there is EFSA, European Food Safety Authority. They are responsible for doing the risk assessments for the different type of hazards, and they're the advisory group for also the implementation and the guiding on the development of the regulation and setting the limits. So there's a lot being done. I mean, there's research being done. There's different type of associations or organizations that are there to protect us and provide all necessary information. So, and the food standards are also becoming more strict and are developing and growing. There are global associations now benchmarking food standards and, trying to make sure that all the food safety standards are at a minimum acceptable level. So there's a lot being done.
Okay, that's hopeful for the consumers. So that leads me to my final question about GMOs. I'm guessing you know about genetic modified organizations and how Europe was against that, the European Union. But maybe, I don't know, maybe the stress on food quantities maybe is getting higher and higher in the future. So maybe at the end, the European Union will accept GMOs to be growing the European grounds or import products with GMOs. So what is your own view on that, about GMOs?
Look, GMOs from scientific point of view are there to help. So they are there to produce more, better types of products that are less sensitive to any types of threats, and also to be able to help in, of course, as you said, with the quantities and the production. So strictly speaking, it should be beneficial. On the other hand, there's a lot that needs to be investigated in regards of all these ethical issues and environmental issues, because it's something new which we don't know what impact it will have on the environment and so on. So it has to be done with a bit of precaution. So it is a big topic that has to be well thought through and researched very well. In the United States, they are being used. So maybe in a few years, we would have a good example from that. And of course, we are hearing a lot of things about this food shortage in the near future. We've heard of new types of meat that will be produced, in the laboratories, without without having to kill animals. We have heard of new types of feeding the people, like using insects instead of, we will all start eating insects maybe in the future. So, yes. So there's a lot being heard around this. So that means that there's a lot of research going into this and being trying to find the best solution. So
I guess the Greek kebab will change a lot with the insect.
We will definitely not stop eating kebab, I'm sure for that. So yes, I'm sure we will keep hearing things, and new things will be coming out, and there's a lot to be discussed and thought through with all of this.
Well, thank you so much. All this information was very important on the food security, something that we don't really hear a lot on the news. We hear about other aspects like agriculture mainly, but not enough about food security. So thank you for being with me today in this episode of Here Impact.
Thanks very much.
All the best to your work and educating people more about these important subjects, so people know what they're putting in their mouth to be safe on that. And this is ending for the episode of this episode. Make knowledge your superpower, and I'll see you next Wednesday with another episode.